Hello everybody, Show Engineer here. Today I wanted to kind of make just an unscripted team building video. Today I'm just going to be kind of following up on this NU team building competition. They're running it weekly. And they give you a different Pokemon or different core or different archetype, something like that, to build around each week. And this week's is Rhyperior. So I'm just going to try my best at building a Rhyperior team today, kind of walking you through the process of that. I don't have any sort of prior ideas at the moment, but we'll see what I can come up with. So yeah, we'll just jump right here into the builder. There's a couple different things you can do with Rhyperior. The first idea I had was we could try Custat Berry with like Swords Dance, perhaps, with 3 attacks. Something like that. This way, maybe we get a surprise kill with Custap once we're low health. And Swords Dance allows us to, be a bit of a wall breaker. For running SD, I'll put a fair bit of EVs into speed, probably. In fact, I'll probably just borrow whatever's on the default Swords Dance, but I'd run a Mega Horn here and a Custap there. So that's one idea. Another idea I've got is a weakness policy set with Rock Polish. This is a very offensive set. You want to go max speed, probably, max attack. Same kind of coverage, although you could go for something like Ice Punch to hit Flygon. You could go maybe Heat Crash to hit Serena, but I feel like Mega Horn covers a lot of what you'd want to hit with Heat Crash anyway. And if it's like a floating steel type, if it's a steel type, you'd rather just Quake it. Stuff like Bronzong, you're not going to really run into. So the only like floaty steel type you're going to find is a Terra Steel, Flygon, or like a Rotom Heat probably. So I think as long as we can take care of those, something like this could really sweep through a game. You could also just run Double Dance with SD. Some games you don't need the speed if you're just kind of breaking through the remains of a really fat team. But I think generally I'd probably just go Rock Polish and get the extra coverage. And for this set, I do like Terrifier, so I can't get burnt. Like defensively, it doesn't look great, because you're still weak to ground, you're still weak to water, but you kind of don't mind being weak to things, because that's how you proc your policy, right? So a set like this is another option. Finally, we have our more defensive sets, which are, very flexible. You get phasing with either Dragon Tail or Roar. Rhyperior is a really good stealth rock setter. Can find a lot of entry points and just get rocks up for free. And then Rock Blast is the default set, just to break sashes, or break through mons that have substitute. So that's an idea. I gotta decide, which point I kind of want to start with. It gets Meteor Beam, but we're not going to try to make special attacking Rhyperior work with a stat like that. So, weakness policy seems like the most heat, but I'm afraid it'll be a little unreliable. Whereas, this Swords Dance Custap, I can see the Custap really popping off, especially with Swords Dance. The question is whether I want Stealth Rock or not. So we'll see if we can fit it elsewhere on the team. But for now, I'm going to try building around some Custap Swords Dance Rhyperior. So, what is this Rhyperior's job? This Rhyperior's job is to break things, right? It's to come in on things that can't really damage it, and either fire off a very powerful stab attack or a Mega Horn. And if they are going to a defensive switch in, that's our cue to click Swords Dance, so we can really kind of muscle through it. Something like an Avalugg, or just any really physically defensive mon. And there isn't much that can really, switch into the ground rock coverage. If Serena is probably coming in a lot of the times, expecting to spin away your rocks, and if you can preemptively catch it with a Mega Horn, I think it just dies unless it's very defensive. Just for fun here, we can pull up the calc for that. So, Rhyperior. Let's go 252 Adamant with Mega Horn. And Serena, if it is offensive, it dies in 1. If it is the defensive set, I think it's taking, yeah, up to 80%. So it's not something that wants to, you know, switch in multiple times, just something like that. So it's a breaker. We can put it on offense, but I feel like it'd be more at home. I think it'll have to be offense of some sort, but I'm probably leaning towards, you know, a more bulky offense, because this isn't a hyper offense Pokemon. It's very far from hyper with a speed of 40. So yeah, just want to give it some pivots to help it get in and do its thing. You know, and things that it covers defensively, like say we're switching into, you know, a flying attack or a normal attack. You know, something that wouldn't want to take those hits. We can pair with it, so we can find opportunities to get Rhyperior in. It's easier to focus on how your team will win rather than how your team will not lose first. So I guess we can start off by thinking, what other mons could this Rhyperior enable with a moveset like this? And I guess you figure that out by seeing what would switch into this Rhyperior. And honestly, that's a great question, because not a lot wants to. So the challenge won't be hitting things with Rhyperior, it'll be maneuvering it in against, you know, all the super effective attacks that could threaten it. So we should get a pivot of some form. Like, that's the first step. Something, you know, with a ground immunity or that can resist water or grass is nice. To kind of go both ways. And I noticed somebody else had it on their submission. You know, I don't think it's too bad if I also include the same mon. Is Rotom Mow. You know, it can pivot Rhyperior in. It's immune to the ground types. It absorbs the grass and the waters, and it gives pivoting. So it's pretty much everything that Rotom wants, or that Rhyperior wants as a partner. It could be either a defensive lefty set, which I'm going to probably default to here. Utility, yeah, with just Will-O-Wisp. Instead of T-Bolts, I'm going to go Pain Split. And do I want max special attack? I think I want max HP instead. So we'll see how that works out. Now what? I feel like we want, you know, like a physical attacking sweeper to kind of clinch out the games at the end. The same kind of things that would get that wants to switch in on Rhyperior. We want those things to be what walls our sweeper, so we can break it down first. Flygon is always an option with Dragon Dance. You know, Crocodile's not bad. I could go with the double ground route. I don't know if that's ideal. We're also got a bit of an ice weakness that might start to form, but there's not very many ice attackers. Let's look at DD. Thorns could be interesting. Again, it has a lot of the same defensive weaknesses as Rhyperior. So that might not be great. I think Gator looks quite interesting here, either as a Dragon Dance or like a Swords Dance sweeper. Because we're starting to get the starts of a Fire, Water, Grass core. Maybe we see the Fire type, you know. And it gets kind of walled by grass types, right? Like Vileplume or Serena, things that, you know, will probably switch into Rhyperior, and hopefully we can break down. So just to double check, How fast is a plume when invested? 136. Oh, we're clearing that definitely. And just to make sure Rhyperior can break via plume, are you or any physical wall? Yeah, at +2, we are killing, almost guaranteed to kill. Which isn't quite good enough because it can either strength sap or giga drain us, you know, to get that health back and kill us in the process. Because yeah, we're not going to run any special defense, so giga drain will straight up kill us. So in order to make sure that we can actually kill, we will need some kind of hazards on this team. And I'll go ahead and make this a very standard Life Orb Sheer Force. And let's do Dragon Dance for now. I think Swords Dance is generally a little better, but maybe the coverage will be nice. Nah, we'll do Swords Dance. And then we will drop Ice Punch because we're going to assume that Rhyperior can break the grass types. 4 for Alligator. So that's kind of our offensive core. We have a pivot to get our boy in. Rhyperior is not packing Stealth Rock, so we want that on another mon. Stealth Rock and or Spikes. So let's see what our options are for rockers. Swampert's a great pivot and rocker for, you know, these bulky offense teams, but we already have a water type and a ground type, and you don't really want, on hyper offense, you know, defensive overlap doesn't matter that much because you're just kind of sending out things to kill, kill, kill. But on bulky offense, where you need your mons to be, you know, taking hits, it's better to have a bit more type diversity, I'd say. But maybe that's just me. Registeel, it would give us a steel type, I guess, but it's far too passive and too low tempo for the offense build we're going for, I think. We could do Flygon. In fact, I'm gonna select Flygon for now. And the set I'm thinking of is the Eject Pack, not button, Eject Pack, and Stealth Rock set. We go Rocks, Special Attacker, right? We got Draco, Earth Power, and then either Flamethrower or like Fire Blast. This is really good coverage just on its own. And the idea is kind of that Flygon will draw in, you know, some of those physical walls again that can give our breaking core some trouble. Hit them on the special side instead. Maybe get some surprise early damage in on them. Terra-wise, I'll just default to Terra Steel. Flygon's not like our carry, right? It's not probably not where we're going to end up terroring, but I mean, Steel's just a generally good resist Terra. And then I'm not sure about Terra Water for Rhyperior. We can think about that some more. Okay. And we've got 2 levitators now, which is nice. I really like having 2 ground immune mons. You know, you need 1 at minimum, but having 2 is very nice right now with all the powerful ground types. We'll be losing Rhyperior and Crocodile in the next shifts, most likely. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of fills their shoes. I hear some people saying Mudsdale. I don't know if I buy the Mudsdale hype. I don't think it'll be good. I do think we might see a return to some Gligar. Yeah, we'll see what happens. And I think Gastro's actually not bad. Might get some more Gastrodon usage. Okay. So we've got our breaking core. We've got a pivot A. This is kind of a pivot with the Eject Pack. It's a one-time pivot. We do have a bit of an ice weakness now between these 3, so I don't want to add any more ice weaknesses. I don't really need to resist, but if I include a fire type to finish our little fire, water, grass, I like putting that on my builds as well. That'll naturally give us that ice resist. So our options as far as fire types in NU are, we got Infernape, you know, Chandelure, Incineroar, Talonflame. I don't think I want to go Talon on this build. I've already got, you know, 2 levitators. It's not really necessary to have a third flying thing. But we do need some kind of hazard removal. Unless we want to ignore it. Hazards might be ignorable if we're high enough tempo. We can just rely on our opponent to defog for us. Yeah. And if we don't end up packing in removal, we'll want boots on things, for sure. I'm kind of thinking something like a Scarf Infernape could be good. Our team's not that fast, it's quite slow actually. Especially if without Scarf Rotom. And so, Infernape would also, you know, it's immune to Will-O-Wisp, but it also can't come in on Talon for fear of getting Brave Birded, so it's a little bit awkward. And yeah, it's not like it's setting rocks or anything, because we have Flygon to do that. I do want to keep this Flygon set, I think. So maybe it's not an Infernape angle. Let's look at fire types again. Anything from PU we want to use. We could use Rotom Heat instead of Rotom Mow. It really baits in Swampert that we could throw off a Will-O-Wisp onto, because it kind of walls our stabs, but we can still make progress against it. And then I would go for a different grass type, which could be Serena here, so we can actually have removal. So that's an idea. I'm not going to dip any lower than the PU, I think. That's the only fire type on this list I'd really like. Incineroar is just pretty slow. Chandelure could be pretty nice. I'm going to do Chandelure for now. And I'm going to go ahead and make it Scarf, because we're a bit slow on this team. Since we're not a defensive Rhyperior, we don't have like Roar. Something kind of setup sweeper, like an Oricorio, could give us some big problems. And Chandelure also kind of remedies that with the move Trick. If we give them a Choice Scarf, you know, we can lock them into one move, really limit their options. So, I mean, I think it's a decent thing to include now. It is weak to Stealth Rock, but I mean, maybe we can solve that with our final pick here. So either we make this Boots, or we find some sort of good remover for this team. Defog-wise, you know, it's not looking great. Talon really kind of overlaps with stuff we already have. Although it is a nice fighting check. Noivern adds another ice weakness. It is not a Braviary Hisui angle. Thank you to the person who left the comment saying I should build with Braviary, but I don't think this is the build for it. Defog might not be an option available to us here. The only ZU defogger I would want to use is maybe Decidueye. Yeah. Alright, as for Rapid Spin, I don't hate Sand Slash here. I also don't love it, but, you know. So it does add another ground weakness, but, I mean, its fire weakness is covered pretty well by the team, by these 4 Mons. Fighting weakness, you know, I guess Chandelure can tank it. We're pretty fighting weak if we go with Sand Slash, but it does have nice roll compression. I would use something like, you know, this default set. I would pretty much use exactly this, maybe with a bit more speed. It can tank some special hits, you know. It's more there as an emergency to get rid of stuff. But yeah, something like Mienshao looks like a big problem for this team. You know, Talonflame would be a lot better. at dealing with Mianshao than a Chandelure would. I don't know, I think we can maybe get by without changing it. Especially if we tear water this, we can just pick off the Shao. And Rhyperior can actually, you know, eat some close combats pretty well between its insane bulk and solid rock. And then I like Terra Ghost, just so we can stack up spikes against opposing spinners. So yeah, I mean the weak link here is definitely Sand Slash. I like what we got going with the Feraligatr Rhyperior. And then, well, I think we want to use one of the Rotom forms as a pivot. I'm not sure which one yet. This Flygon could change as well. We could make it our Scarfer, we could do whatever we want with it. I just thought a special attacker could be pretty cool. But, yeah. I think at this point we're ready to start doing some testing, and we can kind of adjust from there based on the games. Alright, we are back. We are just testing on main, because why not? That's how we get the highest quality games. You know, playing in low ladder won't really tell you much about a team. You really gotta put it to the test. And I think Rhyperior looks pretty darn good this game. They can really, you know, break through Muckbro, their defensive core. It eats a hit from Embor. It can break Belly Bolts if it doesn't click Muddy Water on us. You know, an unboosted Earthquake is doing 68 to 80, which is just pretty crazy. I think he's gonna lead Flygon. He or she, I don't know. It could also be a Cloister lead, I've seen that quite a bit. But I'm just gonna lead my own Flygon here. Okay, they go Embor. And we will learn a lot about what their set is soon. I'm gonna get Rocks, it's very important for dealing with the Cloister. It really helps soften up the defensive core as well. And they have no removal, so I don't see any reason not to just get Rocks here. Alright, they went Cloy. Their Ice Shard, so be it. I'm gonna Draco and get on out of here. I have to Terra Steel now, unfortunately. Okay, we get out of there. Yeah, the Draco miss is unfortunate. I always had the pivot here to Gator to pick this off. They go Belly. They do have a ground type. I wonder if I can bait it in. So I got a few options here. I can go Sand Slash. I feel like they're Volt switching though. Okay, I'm gonna take a risk here. I'm gonna go Rhyperior on Volt because I'm gonna try and win back. Oh, Chilling Water. That's rough. I wanted to gain some momentum and get like a spike up. You know, that was an unfortunate play. I'm still gonna go Slash here. Dang, I'm getting cooked. But that's just a user error. I think the team's probably alright. Can Rhyperior tank a fighting attack? No. Okay. Chandelure looks like it does a pretty good job walling this. I'm gonna go ahead and take the risk of spiking up. Wild Charge, probably predicting Shandy. And that is max attack, adamant damage. But we don't know what the item is. He's probably clicking a move that hits Sand Slash now. Do I want to save it for another switch in? I'm not sure how much good it does me. I wonder how fast it is too. It's probably min speed. Our Rhyperior speed creeps a min speed Embor. I think I'll go for a spike again. Yeah, let him sack there. Gator is probably the safe play here. Or actually gonna go, I'm just gonna go Rhyperior. And Quake, because I believe I'm faster. Yes, I am. And this Flygon, unless it's choice banned, I don't believe Earthquake would kill me. Alright, I believe he's Scalding. And I'm just gonna go Rotom here to tank the Scald. Goes to Flygon, interesting. Now they're probably U-turning. I think I just tank it and throw off a Wisp because I think he's going back to Muck. Okay, that is choice banned, noted. They did go Muck, and they're not Boots, that's nice. I'm gonna Pain Split to get some health back here. I think they're resting off the burn. Or knocking me, okay. I'm gonna Volt now. I believe my Flygon can eat a knock since they're burnt. Yep, so we'll just do that. Nice, we're immune. Just gonna Earth Power here, get the kill. If they go Flygon, I think I'm willing to toss up the Speed Tie. Let's look at the choice band set actually, see how much all the damage does. So a Dragon Claw or something like that would kill me. But Outrage, if they lock Outrage, I could go. Let's check Outrage damage. It would kill Rhyperior, okay. I was thinking like, could I go Ripe and then get off a Custap Mega Horn to really put a chunk in it? I'm trying to debate whether I want to keep Flygon around. I mean, it deals damage to Bro, especially if they go Terra Poison. So that's one consideration. I'm gonna Draco. Okay, they use their Terra. That's good for me. And he'll take... I don't really like Terra Bug from him there, even if it does kill me. Because next time he takes rocks damage, it is, it's not looking good. For him, at least. So here I'm gonna go... I think he's gonna go Slowbro, so I'm gonna go Rotom. Okay, this thing's Boots, good to know. I think I will go ahead and... what will I do? Pain Split first, because I don't think he's switching. Get some health back. And now I believe he is going to recover. I can't go hard Ripe though, because I'm scared. I think I'm going to Volt out into... What does Gator take from a Volt switch? It's not great, but I think we can handle it. Alternatively, I can just start throwing Shadow Balls. I think that's the move. I'm also not really scared of a Chilling Water on this. I could also trick it to cripple it. That's the other option. And I don't need the speed, so I'm just going to do that. And this should do like no damage to Gator, so we're just gonna go Gator, click Swords Dance to counteract the Chilling Water. We'll click it again, they go to the Bro, and we'll find out if they are Colbur or not with this crunch. Usually they're not Colbur. Yeah. Nice. They're helmets, okay. So I don't need Gator to beat Bellybolt, I don't think. But it would be nice. If this thing clicks First Impression, Gator dies, I believe. First Impression. Yes. I don't want him to die. So here's what I'm gonna do. Which of these is least useful for beating belly bolts. I'm being extra cautious. I keep Rhyperior so he can't click water move. I keep Gator so he can't click I keep Rhyperior so he can't click electric move. I keep Gator so he doesn't want to click water move. Shandy can deal some good damage as well. Who am I kidding? I think we'll be alright. I'm just gonna jet here. We'll let Gator go down. And since it's banded, when it switches out, it won't get enough back to do enough. I'm gonna go ahead and Volt out. But it looks like my opponent's left, so this game's pretty much wrapped up. Our offensive core seemed to work pretty well. Sand Slash, it got some hazards up, so it wasn't worthless. The trick was very helpful against their defensive mon. And all in all, yeah, the team were pretty decent. We're gonna go Shandy, and we're gonna wrap this up with 2 Shadow Balls. And give him a GG. So yeah, it's a successful first game. See you in the next. Well, we are waiting for a game, and we have been for a while. It's kind of lonely up here, high on the ladder. But yeah, I think the team is working as intended. I think, is there any other options for a rapid spinner? Sandslotch is doing fine, but we're gonna leave this team as it is. This is V1, right? And we might test out an alternate version. Call that V2. Oh. What do we have? And we'll come back to this. This is what I'm gonna try Rotom Heat on. And then probably something instead of Chandelure, like a Serena or a Bramblegast. We'll come back to that. Alright. This looks stall AF. Umbreon, Quagsire, Sableye. Like, what's going on here? Does he have a double wish thing going on? Could it be Spec Sylveon that's going to break my team? Absolutely. I don't know. We'll have to find out. The trick from Chandelure should be pretty nice against what he has. Usually Tentacruel doesn't have much of a way to hurt a Rhyperior, which is nice. And then, an Earthquake is doing upwards of 40% to a fully physically defensive Quagsire, which is quite impressive. So hopefully we'll be able to break through. Yeah. We got our double SD core. We'll see if it can break through stall. I'm gonna lead our good old faithful Flygon, get some rocks up right at the start. And another thing to note this game, Flygon should do pretty well at breaking Quagsire, because Unaware ignores all of our stat changes, and that includes our drops. So, after using a Draco Meteor, normally you're quite weakened, but against Quagsire you can just keep clicking. And it should do probably over half. Yeah, 55 to 65. So, that'll be nice. Sylveon does Wallace though, so they can probably just switch back and forth. And as always, the idea to beat that back and forth switching is to really get our hazards stacked up. So that'll be key this game. We'll play the hazards game, see what our Rhyperior can break, and then go from there. We should be faster than Umbreon. Its speed usually is 166, and we did hit 167. Nice spread. We could just justify going all the way, because I like to run like a speed creep on my walls, just so they're a little bit faster. But do I want to try and break this immediately with a Draco? Or do I want to get rocks first? I think rocks are so important in this matchup that it's worth getting them up immediately. A Toxic's not going to do a whole lot for him. But now we can just Draco. 60%, excellent. And we know Toxic's probably coming out. We can go Rotom to absorb it, or we can go to something else. We can go to Sandslash and get spikes. This at least threatens to kill Quag, whereas this doesn't really threaten to kill, but we can get more hazards, so I'm gonna do Sandslash. A knock would be nice, but so would more spikes, so we have to make a decision here. I'm gonna say we want a spike for the next time it comes in. And the Sableye is not heavy duty boots, so all these hazards are really gonna help against it. So he can click Will-O-Wisp or knock off here. And we have Flygon, which doesn't care about either, so I'm just gonna go back to that. And assuming it's Fizz Def, we can break it in 2 hits, which is nice. I will go ahead and Earth Power to see what we can do. No boots on the Sylveon either, very nice. 17, pathetic. But what that tells us is that it has some special defense investment, which is very interesting. If it has that, it probably means it's a bit more exploitable on the physical side, which is good for our Breaking Core. And we know it's leftovers, so it's not gonna Specs Boom us. So Rhyperior is probably faster, and it'll do more damage than it says on the calc here, because we know it's invested specially defensive. So we could go to Rhyperior here, and Quagsire doesn't really work as a switch-in anymore because it's been weakened. But I think I like Sandslash here the best, because it resists the Hyper Voice, and even if he's switching up here, now's our chance to get a knockoff. I would guess he's going to try and spin away stuff with Tentacruel. So we could double to Rhyperior and try and knock it out. Because if hazards stay up this game, we're in business. But he also has no reason to be afraid of this Sandslash. Sorry, I'm just gonna knock. Alright. Since he can't do much to my Gator, I will go ahead and send it in here, I think. The problem is Sableye. Ugh. This thing was AV as well, by the way. Interesting. So the play there might have been to go Rhyperior, so I could pressure this. Let me go ahead and go Rhyperior now, since he's obviously spinning. And a flip turn isn't going to do much to me. So I can either try to hit the Rotom with Stone Edge, or an Earthquake on this. He's got to switch out with a flip turn, probably. And predicting that he'll go Rotom, I'll go for the Stone Edge. Only 38. Nice, we ate it up. Our timer is running a bit low because I'm thinking and I'm yapping, so we'll speed things up a little. It kind of sucks that we lost our hazards because they're quite good here, but we'll make a goal to get them back up. Anytime Sableye comes in, it's usually a good opportunity to get rocks with Flygon, because since we're especially attacking, we don't care about the burn. And since we're itemless, we don't care about the knockoff. He's probably debating whether he wants to go Umbreon, or Rotom Heat, or Quagsire. Come on, go Rotom Heat. You don't want to get hit by an Earthquake, do you? If we knock out Rotom, Who does that help? It helps Rhyperior. We can click Earthquake for free. And same goes for Earth Power from Flygon. It looks pretty good. His Sylveon is kind of an issue for us. We need Rhyperior or for Alligator to hit it really hard. He needs to make his decision, or he's just going to lose on time. Oh, that's unfortunate. I wish we could have seen how that game played out, but... So, what did we learn from that one? We do have a way to win against beefier stall teams very easily. We've got 2 easy hazard appliers. We've got knockoff here. We only have 1 knockoff, which could be increased with like a Serena. But yeah. I think we would have won this one in the long run. I think we have enough counterplay to his bulky stuff. But who knows? Hopefully we'll find something else to beat. And while I'm in queue for the next game, let's look at a possible other alternative. Sorry, I repeated my words. Let's look at another way we could do things. And that's with Rotom Heat and Serena instead of, you know, Rotom Mow and our Sandslash. So, just a standard pivot set. Instead of Plot, I'll just go Willow. And for Serena, I guess we could do defensive. And honestly here, you know, if speed's not a concern, it could be a great Deancey angle. Just so we could have a spiker in addition to a rocker. But I don't know if the double rock type is a problem. We've covered the rock weaknesses pretty well, because like grass, water, ground, you know, we've got Serena, we've got Gator, we've got Levitating Rotom and Flygon. It'd probably be okay, but as far as spikes, do you have other options? We could go for a Spikes Bramblegast. We could go offensive as well. We could always go Keys for spikes. And spikes aren't necessary for this team. We could just pack in some more instant power, which is not a bad idea. And if we're using defensive Serena, we would definitely want something with some special defense, because Rhyperior is not taking special hits. Serena can take some, but she's not really EV'd for it. And then Rotom can take some, depending on the type. So if we were to include another special wall, one pick that I pulled out in NUPL was a Scarf Florges. That could possibly work here as well. It's naturally got that insane special bulk, of course. And there's a few ways you can run it. You can go like full on offensive, but either way, we're still using that trick idea, right? And you want Moonblast every time. And then from here you can deviate in 2 directions. There's full offensive, right? With Sidekick or Cyanoise, and then Energy Ball. This kind of does the same thing Chandelure was doing. It's a better special sponge. But now we are kind of weak to fightings. What I'm thinking of is an interesting set this way. Not Moonblast, sorry, Synthesis. Where we actually just EV it like a defensive Florges. Terra Steel, since we don't have a Steel type. And we just make it Scarf. So our goal is to ditch the Scarf on something that's scary, and then trait Florges like a normal setup mon, right? With our Moonblast Calm Mind Synthesis. We can go toe-to-toe with Sylveons, so I think it could work pretty well. We would want to invest a little bit into speed. Not sure what exactly we want to hit speed-wise. I can check my other team, because I had a reason for the EVs on that one. If I kept it around. This was a Specs Keys. Or a Specs Florges. This is the one. I had 249. What would that be for? I don't know, but I think I'm going to trust that that's an important speed tier. Maybe it's for Noivern? Okay. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and put it on mine. So it's plus nature, hitting 249 speed. Yeah, so we're a bit frailer physically than is optimal. But between Rhyperior and Serena, I think that'll be fine. And this really patches together our special bulk as well. Yeah, so we can give this version of the team a try as well. In fact, I think I'll do just that. Just kidding, we just found a game as soon as I paused. So we're going to play this one out. Then we'll test our other version of the team. Probably just 1 or 2 games, and then I'll decide which one I like better, and probably use that for my final post on the team building competition. So, what are they cooking? He recognizes the name. Cool. Thanks. Yes, sir, I have been in Rabia vid, and you should go check it out. Although, I suspect, if you're watching this channel right now, that's probably what led you to here. So, hey, thanks for coming checking me out. So, what is our lead here? They are probably leading off with, like, a Torn, or a Sash Cloister, maybe even an Incineroar. I'm gonna go Flygon. Oh, we're gonna get ejected out immediately. But it's not the end of the world. Still go Rhyperior. If he's Wisp, he's probably slow and will outspeed and kill. If he's not Wisp, well, it'll be fun. Also, look at his team and look at the move Stone Edge. Super effective, super effective, super effective, super effective. It hits everything. And it hits Espeon neutrally. And guess what? I think this dies. Yeah. Normal Espeon dies in 1 to Stone Edge. So, this game is Stone Edge City. I think I'm going to click at turn 1. Cool. 1 down, 5 to go. And that just goes to show how useful having the speed on Rhyperior is. All these other like slow walls that you're up against, they're not running speed. You can just outspeed them and kill them. Alright. Glaceon, not a mon you see a lot. The only time I do see it is when Executive Execute is running it with his Scarf set, which is absolutely terrifying, by the way. So, I think the obvious switch in here is just Sand Slash. And if he goes for a Calm Mind, well, then he's got me. Mud Shot. Of course it's Mud Shot. Of course, of course. We don't need this for a whole lot else. I don't want to get spikes bounced back at me. That'd be quite poor. But I think Knockoff is good here. Okay, he did go Espeon. And they were a Focus Sash. Interesting. So I'm going to knock again as I get paralyzed. Okay. If they goes to Titan, I will be quaking in my boots. But they don't. Is this thing going to set Snow for Titan? I see Glaceon and Titan, and I'm thinking it's a Snow team, but there's no Obama Snow. So what's this guy's plan? I think here, I'm paralyzed. I swear it's just getting up a spike. Yep, there's the Snowscape, as I expected. This thing could Focus Blast me. I'm scared to be in. If one of these offensive threats comes in and I have nothing to deal with it, that'd be bad. I can always Terra Steel Flygon in the face of Cloy, but when it comes to Titan, I'm a little scared. I'm gonna knock. Because if the Titan comes in, I don't want it to have a Citrus Berry. Okay. It's White Herb. Interesting. I'm pretty sure Gator eats a hit from this when it's boosted. but we're not doing enough back, I'm afraid. How about Shandy? It's getting smoked by Rock Blast, even if we Terra. And Rhyperior. Rhyperior can eat a hit from whatever. It's this Ice-type defense boost that's really doing me in, man. Okay, I'm gonna go Ripe. And so I don't get one shot, we're gonna go ahead and Terra Fairy. I feel like I have to land the Stone Edge. Because Quake's not doing enough. So let's do that. They Terra Rocked, interesting. Rock Blast, 3, 4, 5. Oh. See, normally this would be a disaster. But our handy dandy Custap Berry has saved the day. We'll just kill him with a Quake. Little smile. Since that's Terra'd, I just want to hit this with Stone Edge. If it goes for the Belly Drum, nice, it dies. Missing Stone Edge was kind of his win con there. He did need a miss. Alternatively, I might have been able to Earthquake, and then once Snow expired, I could try to kill it with Aqua Jet. I think that would work. But we're gonna just... Oh, that thing is slow, wow. Ice Body plus Lefties, it is healing quite a bit. And since they don't have Terra, I'm just gonna go to this and click Fire Move. They protected to stall for heals, but I think we just Tice this. Wow, he's tanky. But he didn't go for Snow Escape, so I think the Glaceon is falling here. Yep, I think it's a GG for me. Alright. The Custap was really clutch that game. Gotta say, I'm liking the set. And, you know, just for good measure, I'm gonna cut out a little bit of the HP. Put a little extra into speed in case things are, you know, speed creeping, what they normally are. I like that little extra layer of safety. And we'll test our second version of the team and see how it does as well. And we are back. So we got the other version of the team with our Scarflorges, our defensive Serena, and Rotom Heat instead of Rotom Mo. Oh no, you know what I just realized? This thing's Thunderbolt instead of Volt Switch. How am I supposed to be a pivot now? Well, we'll suffer through this game and then see how much better it is with Volt. I get the desire to lead with... I'll lead with Flygon and just click the Draco like usual. Maybe they'll taunt me to stop me from setting rocks. Now I hit him with the Scarf Moonblast, they never see it coming. Okay. So, nice. We traded our jetpack and a little bit of chip for some rocks. And I got the whole Lycan. So this thing is not faster than Noivern. I don't know what it's faster than. The Scarf would be nice if we got it onto like a Houndstone or the Tenta. If this thing is Choice Scarf, Blitz will not kill me, but it will hurt. I'm gonna go ahead and just Moonblast, see what he has for me. Maybe it's Banded. It's Plot. Well, good thing we're just killing it. Vacuum Wave, very nice. So yeah, a very unconventional form of speed control in the Scarf Florges, but it kind of fills multiple roles that we need on our team, right? So I quite like it. I don't think this can do much to me, especially if it's Poltergeist. We can just go Flygon and be immune, yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and get my rocks up, because those sound nice, and he's probably gonna go Reuniclus. Oh, it's play rough. Wow. Okay, we'll just go for the Fire Blast and toast this guy, and if he's Shadow Sneak, we'll find that out. Alright, he is Shadow Sneak. Got it. So Rotom would actually go way more insane here if I could Volt out on this incoming Reuniclus. Unfortunately, we cannot. So I'm just gonna get some T-Bolt chip. Oh, the Terra Waters. Wow, that thing ate. That thing Assault Vest? Well, either way, I'm just gonna keep T-Bolting. And I'm glad I used up his Terra. That's even better for us. Go ahead and sneak me. So yeah, now our Mega Horn should completely obliterate the Reuniclus. And yeah, we'll see how things go. If he goes into Noivern here, I'm happy to just go Florg. Tank whatever special attack it can throw at me. Yeah. Oh, but he's not Boots, which means he's probably Specs. I'm actually gonna go ahead and just sack the Rotom. Yeah. We'll never know if it's Specs or not, based on that damage. Actually, yeah, we won't know. I could go Ripe here. If we think he's choiced, which he probably is. I could also just go Florg. What I'm gonna do is go Florg. He knows we can Moonblast him, so he's going to switch out, and we're going to trick either the Reuni or the Tenta. That's the goal. I don't think he wants to give out Noivern. I don't think I would want to if I were him. Yeah, we got Tenta. Black Sludge, that's kind of annoying. So they're probably going to spin here. We'll just go to Serena so we can spin of our own. Gunk Shot. Alright then. Be that way. Would Terra Poisoning be terrible here? I think I'll just go Ripe, eat the Gunk, and probably throw off a Stone Edge. It's still doing big damage to Reuniclus. Goes Noivern, and do we land it? He found our Custap Berry. This thing's running Gunk. It's probably a physical attacker. And now the question is, do we Earthquake or do we Mega Horn? If this guy is Energy Ball, it definitely kills us in one, so there's also the option to Terra. And I think that Feraligatr could probably do it with Tentacruel. I know we're faster. I'm just gonna go for the Mega Horn and just land it. Okay, 61. That means he's basically max physical defense. 252. I'm actually gonna go for a... I'll go for a Quake. Maybe it'll kill. Not quite. And he is E-Ball. Okay. Now our plan is that Spin does not quite kill. Okay. So we're actually going to knock. Nice. And we will go Terra Poison on this Tentacruel. And heal back up with Synth. Alright, so it doesn't do much to us. Just kill it with Power Whip soon. And that's the game. Nice. The Black Slode was kind of funny, getting tricked onto the Florges. So, I guess now comes the time to decide which version of the team do I like better. I think both are quite viable. The Alola Slash is maybe a bit suspect. I like having the Trick Scarf on both builds to deal with setup threats. That's quite nice. The Rhyperior and Feraligatr core worked quite well at breaking things. Very impressed by the SD Rhyperior, and the Custap even came in handy, so that was nice. I'll do some more deliberation, and I'll leave both of the pastes for you guys in the description of the video. And make sure to leave a comment which one you think is the better build. You know, give them a test for yourself on the ladder. And yeah. Stay tuned for more team building content like this. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and like, all that good business, and I'll see you next time.